Welcome to the Dan Sports Tips MLB preview show for today, the 28th of June. Finally, we get a sweep on the board last night. Everything we tipped up came in. We're up to nearly 50 points on the year again, which, while is still some distance off the close to 200 we were just a couple of short weeks ago, the signs are there that maybe we finally turned the corner. I didn't know things couldn't get worse, so let's dive into today's games. The Texas Rangers are visiting the New York Yankees. Texas will face CC Sabathia, who's been pitching as well as he has done in a number of years after reinventing himself into more of a finesse pitcher than the power stuff he used to display in his younger days. Texas are the major league leaders in wins and have been streaking for a month or so now. They're especially proficient against left-handed pitching, with Ryan Rua, Ian Desmond, Elvis Andrus, Adrian Beltre all excelling. Sabathia has had some issues with Texas through the years, with an ERA of 4.97 across 21 starts against the Rangers. Cole Hamels will pitch for Texas tonight. He's been outstanding since joining Texas. He was outstanding before joining Texas when he was with Philly, to be honest, as well. This has been no different recently. He's won his last 3 starts with an ERA below 1. He has 8 straight winning decisions on the road. He does have yet to beat the Yankees in the Bronx in his career, going 0-2 with a 4.50 ERA, but he's definitely a more reliable, consistent option at pitch at day. New York do have the advantage in the relief pitching. If they get through 6 innings with a lead, it is usually good night, while Texas currently have a bullpen that does rank in the bottom 3 in ERA in the majors. That being said, that should start to correct itself towards league average looking at the metrics in the future, and speaks volumes that this team has managed to compile 50 wins already despite their bullpen woes. I'm going to take them to carry on the streak tonight. I'm playing Texas on the run line to beat the New York Yankees. The Tampa Bay Rays and the Boston Red Sox will continue their series tonight after Tampa finally broke their streak of 11 straight losses last night. Tonight they will send their ace Chris Archer to the mound. Unfortunately, for the last year or so, he has not pitched like an ace. He's fallen off the cliff since the middle of last season. He's been experiencing some command issues on a fairly regular basis, finding himself in hitters' counts and then getting punished. He cannot afford to do that today against a Red Sox team that is the best in the league against right-handers, even though it has been struggling in recent games. The relief pitching and starters have also been letting the team down during the somewhat extended slump that came to a head last night when John Farrell, the manager, called a team meeting to address the team's performance as they fall further behind the Orioles in the race in the AL East. Tampa are banged up with their entire starting outfield out on the disabled list, and first baseman designated hitter Steve Pearce, also on that list. They're heavily reliant on Evan Longoria to produce in the heart of their lineup. Rick Porcello will need to have a solid start today to make up for the failings of Rodriguez yesterday not getting out of the 4th inning and burning that bullpen. Fortunately, he has been consistently giving 6 or 7 innings in the majority of his starts. Porcello has a 2.89 ERA in the last 3 seasons in 4 starts against the Rays, and his 1 start against the Rays this year was 7 innings with 3 earned runs allowed, which is completely in line with his 3.5 ERA against the Rays. If Archer's struggles with command continue, this could be a night for the Red Sox to get going again and pick up a W. I certainly think they're too big on the run line. I'm certainly at 6-4 earlier on. I apologise if any of these prices have changed. I did do my prices and everything hours ago, if I'm honest. The next game I want to look at is the continuation of the Toronto Blue Jays and the Colorado Rockies at Coors Field. J.A. Happ struggled a little bit last time, not delivering what has become his usual 7 innings against the Diamondbacks. But then the Diamondbacks do hit lefties well. He'll take the mound for Toronto tonight. Colorado are a better lineup against right-handed pitching, and that's not close. By quite some way, they're better against righties. Eddie Butler will start for the Rocks. He has been struggling, leaving pitches up in the zone, allowing home runs. Against the Murderers Row at the heart of the lineup of the Blue Jays, who are still effective even without Jose Bautista, I would expect that they will score plenty of runs today and could win comfortably for their first ever win in the ballpark in Colorado at their 8th attempt. I will take Toronto -1.5. I will buy up to -3.5. I'm also going to take Edwin Encarnacion to hit a home run and Toronto to win, and Michael Saunders to hit a home run and Toronto to win the game as well. The Chicago Cubs will head to Great American Ballpark, continuing their series with the Cincinnati Reds tonight after Jake Arrieta was on the losing end last night. Sorry, no, he wasn't. It was 11-8, but Jake Arrieta had a poor performance, I should say, last night as the Cubs won 11-8 as they went bananas with the bats, particularly Chris Bryant. The Cubs do have some injuries. As I say, they burst into life last night. John Lamb, the lefty's up for the Reds tonight, who has experienced struggles at times this year. Should play well for the likes of Chris Bryant, who had 3 home runs last night. Should the Cubs chase Lamb early as well, there's unlikely to be much respite for the Reds, who have the worst bullpen in the major leagues at this point in the season. The Reds themselves scored 8 yesterday, despite it being Jake Arrieta Day, the best Cubs pitcher, and you know, they have plenty of righties who can hit for power off of John Lester, who is also poor at holding base runners. The Reds can steal bases and love to run, which will also add to the potential for them to contribute to playing the number of over 8.5 total runs in this game. And just for a side as well, I will play Chris Bryant to continue his run, hit a home run, and Chicago to win the game. And I will play Javier Baez to hit a home run and Chicago to win the game as well. The final game we're going to play, Miami against Detroit. The Marlins are playing good ball at the moment. They have solid defense behind their pitching. They've got a number of left-handed bats in Yelich, Bohr and Dietrich, who are all performing quite well at the moment. They get to face Mike Pelfrey, who despite a solid relief performance last time he's set foot on the hill, has been mainly terrible as a starter this year, sits with a record of 1-7 and a 4.91 ERA. Although not facing the Marlins in a while, he has struggled against them too in his career. Adam Conley, the young lefty, hasn't exactly been a picture of consistency for the Marlins this year. A couple of Detroit bats do well against left-handed pitching, but the price here is high enough that I'm certainly willing to take my chances that Conley can get the job done. Certainly think he'll pitch better than Pelfrey, and Miami on the run line are a solid bet, I think, today as well. Those are the plays I've got for you today. There will not be a show tomorrow. It is my son's birthday. Keep an eye on the Twitter account tomorrow, though. If I get a chance in the evening, I may tweet some plays out that I will count for the purpose of the show. Best of luck if you're joining me having a play today. Let's sweep it again. Play ball.